Book 226. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about the slave girl who sold her soul for revenge. That's right, the slave girl who sold her soul for revenge. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, on a slave plantation in a place called Virginia today, a Negro child was born under very peculiar circumstances. It is said that when this child was born, there was a terrible storm ravaging the land, and the rains and wind were some of the strongest ever in history. This storm got so bad that a tornado touched down and began making its way directly towards the slave quarters where the child, who was one of my ancestors no less, was being born. The winds of the tornado passed directly over the slave quarters, but it did not destroy anything in the area save one large and ancient oak tree. The tree fell down in such a way that its branches seemed to land on the doorstep of the slave quarters. When the storm had passed and the Negroes examined the area, there was found beneath the uprooted oak tree several strange items. There was a black pouch with unidentifiable pieces of bone within it, a carved piece of wood which seemed to be a sorcerer's wand, 3 pouches of 3 different unknown substances, and a rolled up papyrus scroll with unrecognizable images drawn on it. An old Negro woman on the plantation who was around 110 years old said that the spirits had revealed those items as a gift to the child that was born. In those days, it was common knowledge that reincarnation was real, and it was supposed that the items belonged to the child in a previous life, and now that she was born into this world again, she desired her belongings that she buried there long ago. Her mother held the items until she grew up, and when the child was 10 years old, she gave them to her and told her the story of the storm and her birth. Confused, the girl looked at the items and slowly unrolled the papyrus scroll. When she did, the unrecognizable images brought many flashes of memory to her mind, and she instantly began to remember all that she had known in her past life. She was indeed a slave in that very same area to another man, and as a slave, she lived alongside a voodoo priestess who was enslaved as well. This priestess began to teach her the craft, and her magic was strong and powerful. Powerful enough, it seemed, to conjure up a mighty spirit of death that would revenge any wrong done to her. However, before she could cast her spell, another slave told on her, and she was strung up and hung by her neck until she died. The voodoo priestess, knowing that she would return one day, buried her possessions beneath the oak tree. Remembering her purpose, the girl went back to working her craft, and she offered up her own life force as an offering to the spirit. After saying the words of power, the girl was possessed by a mighty spirit from the other realm, and she called forth a legion of spirits to assist her. This girl and the spirits with her began to ravage the oppressors with disease and swords, and a great plague swept through Virginia like never before. In the history books, it is said that none of the Negroes were affected by this disease, and there was never an official cause of the deadly sickness. All the public knew was that sores, fevers, vomiting, and death had befallen them out of nowhere. The only Negro to die from this disease was the reincarnated girl, but she did not care. In her past life, she was ravaged by a sick overseer, and he had given her a disease that destroyed her ability to give birth. So, she was willing to sacrifice her life to give back unto her oppressors a disease which would destroy them in retaliation. And so, the morning motivation of today is the slave girl who sold her soul for revenge. The energy which you put out into the world would undoubtedly come back upon you. If you are evil and wicked, and you are harsh unto others, then evil and wickedness will be done unto you. And if you escape from your judgment in this life, you will most assuredly suffer for your crimes in the next. Death is not a reprieve. Know this for a fact. So today, do not do wrong unto others, and always strive to do that which is good. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning.